Hey guys, what's going on? We're going to talk a little bit today about hard gainers and trying to put on quality size. I think I'm pretty qualified for this because a couple of years ago I was weighing in at about 140 pounds. It was about 2.5 years ago. I'm about 180 right now. So I know the struggle. I know how difficult it is for a skinny guy. I was a skinny guy my whole life to put on some size. So a couple of quick tips. We're not going to get into too much science. We're going to keep this pretty short, but number one, when I first started doing it, I was doing tons of milk, doing the gallon of milk almost a day type thing. I gained way too much fat. I had to cut a lot of that fat off. It was a huge pain in the ass and I looked terrible while I was gaining. And I wasn't gaining enough strength to justify having that much fat on me. So don't set a weight goal. That's thing number one. If you set a weight goal of like 180, 190 pounds, you'll do anything that you can to get there. Like you can eat fucking Play-Doh and you'll gain up to a certain amount of weight, but it doesn't mean it's quality weight. So use your brain, be intelligent, and try and consistently gain quality mass. So eat clean, eat well. I'm not saying you can't have a cheat meal or something a week, but try to keep it pretty clean. You'll be a lot happier in the long run. Your insulin sensitivity won't get fucked up, and on and on. So when you're looking to do that, the most important thing for any thin guy, because we all say this, and I know I said it at the outset, oh, but I eat a ton of food. Bullshit. Track your food. Keep either a notebook or, there's a lot of apps out there now, if you're not a caveman like me, that you can use to track your food. I use a pen and paper. You got to track your food. You have to know that you're hitting your macros and your calorie count, because otherwise you're guesstimating everything. You'll never really have a good idea of exactly what you're taking in a day. And then you'll never put any size on. So the basic rule of thumb, get your pencil out. I'm gonna say this so that I don't have to keep answering all your guys' messages about this. Google exists too. I don't understand how you guys don't know this, but take your body weight and multiply it by 20. That's gonna be your baseline for calories. Okay, I'm not saying that that's the be all and end all, but if you multiply your body weight by 20, that's gonna be a basic rule of thumb of how many calories that you're gonna wanna hit in a day. That's pounds, not kilos for my foreign friends. I speak American. But so take that, if you're 150 pounds, that's 3,000 calories. That's your base level of calories that you're gonna need to hit. Now, you might find in 7 to 10 days that you need to add 200 to that, or 400, or even 500, sometimes as much as 1,000. But start there and see what that does for you. For your macros, your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fat. If you're a skinny guy, you can look for maybe about 30% in protein, about 50% in carbohydrates, about 20% in fat. That's a good rule of thumb to start with. You can play with that a little, maybe 5% here and there. Maybe add 5% to carbohydrates, to protein, take 5% away from fat if you're starting to get a little bit too fat. Add some fasted walking and whatever. The last thing that I want to go on is training. A lot of people tell ectomorphs that they need to do really low volume training because you're going to burn too many calories and blah, 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 blah. What I found to be the most effective to put on size as I was gaining weight was a power building sort of split, which I know that word gets thrown around all the time and it's really lame or whatever, but start out by building a 4-day-a-week program around your bench, your overhead press, your deadlift, and your squat. Once you do those, keep those in the 10 sets of 3-rep range or maybe like 15 sets of double range, and then do direct work. Don't be afraid of direct work. If you're doing a bench day, do tricep work, do weighted dips or whatever. Focus the workout around your power lifts, but throw in 3 or 4 exercises of direct work. It's not going to hurt you. There's no such thing as overtraining unless you're an elite level guy. Trust me, you're not overtraining and you're not overeating. So those are some basic rules of thumb to go by for my hard gainer friends out there. Get big and stay big. So just eat your food.